Oh my God, did you see her face? Okay, look, for everyone who missed it somehow, yesterday Theresa May was doing the whole Prime Minister question time thing again. She was again being asked fair questions, and she just wasn't given satisfactory answers. But the whole time that I'm watching it, I didn't see it from the beginning, but when I did start watching it, I just see Jeremy Corbyn sat there fairly quietly listening to everything that's going on. Now, May was challenged on the immigration policy that she's, unfortunately now it looks like she is sticking to. Again, this is Theresa May's pride, not willing to throw her hands up in the air and say, look, we fucked up. Okay, we are going to have to change this. I can't stand David Cameron, but I do remember him a few times backpedaling because what he wanted to do was so damn unpopular. Theresa May hasn't got the humility to even do that. Okay, but sticking to her guns with the immigration policy. Immigrants are going to have to earn $30,000 in order to come to the country. That's going to seriously take a toll on this country in general. But the fact that she refuses again to let Parliament vote on the deal, at least in this year, made Jeremy Corbyn stand up and put a vote for no confidence in Theresa May. Now, she just survived when her own party did it, and I believe, don't hold me to this, but I believe Thatcher only got 18 more votes than May did, and even she resigned because it was such a devastating vote. And Theresa May had to bring in people who have been investigated, people who are being investigated for rape in order to get the votes on her side. Yes, I am talking about Charlie Elphrick. But back to Corbyn. So he puts in this vote for no confidence with Theresa May. What does that actually mean? It means not much, at the moment at least. Theresa May isn't obligated to stand down because of this. There is a lot of pressure for her to actually do it now, but what she does next depends on what Jeremy Corbyn will do next, because he might push for a vote of no confidence in the actual government. Now, if the debate isn't had about May's competency, he has hinted that he will do it. It's not set in stone, nothing is set in stone at all, but that would be a big deal because Corbyn would need members of SNP, the SNP, he would need the DUP, he would need Clyde Cymru, and to be fair, a lot of people from these groups have said that they will back him. Now, that's not to say that the party in general would back him, but he is a threat to Theresa May right now. As it stands, he could be the result of a snap election. That's... I mean, it's a great time for politics, but it is really, really messing with the deadlines because January, February, March. End of March is when we're leaving. Okay, so there's a couple of things that would happen, that could happen. You've got to fit in the general election. That could be done at the end of January, I suppose, but it's cutting it really tight, just leaving 2 months for a new government to take in, and it would in essence be a new government. And to be fair, I think the government we have is completely incompetent. There's no point to them existing whatsoever. Schools across the country said we haven't got enough money to keep open 5 days a week. So what does Philip Hammond do? He cuts education. The police force say, look, a lack of funds is leading to an influx of crime. What does he do? Cuts money to police force. Same for fire and rescue. Amber Rudd publicly said on Twitter, you do not need ID to sign on. absolute horse crap, because anyone who has ever signed on will tell you you need ID at least once in order to get the ball rolling. So this government is completely incompetent. They are ignoring so many vital issues in this country. It's just not funny at this point. But a new government would have to renegotiate a new deal before March, or push back the deadline. Now that's going to piss off a lot of Brexiteers, but hear me out. I'm saying this as a firm Remainer, even a Ramona. Pushing back the deadline doesn't mean that we won't leave. Jeremy Corbyn, while the party itself has the position of staying, he himself is a leaver. That's who he is. He doesn't hold much stock in the European Union, and someone like that could actually get a decent deal that would work for the UK, unlike Theresa May. But he'd need time to do it, and the only way realistically you could do it is to push it back a few more months. Now, the EU might not go for that, but then they might go for that. Let's not forget that Theresa May isn't actually that popular. She's not that popular in this country. She's not that popular on the continent. Now, I don't know how popular Jeremy Corbyn is over there. The opinions seem to vary on who you speak to, but pushing the Brexit date back a few more months, that's not an impossibility. What would be impossible is us to say, okay, we're now going to stay in, and then next year vote to leave. That's something that can't happen. We're either in or we're out, hopefully with a deal, or we're going to crash out in flames without a deal. So my hope is that Corbyn does push for a vote of no confidence in this government. My hope is that the next government we have is a Labour government, and my hope is that Brexit deadline is pushed back a few months. Now, ideally, I want us to stay in the European Union, but it is what it is. We had that vote. But certainly, we do need to push back that vote, because there is a lot of things that just can't stay the way that they are, and they need to be renegotiated. But what will happen today will probably decide where we go from. So, yeah, keep your eyes open.